Corruption is so bad in Nigeria that you cannot defend anybody and you cannot trust anybody.
Corruption is not about embezzling money. Selfish interest is also corruption. When you have a selfish interest against your nation, it's corruption.
That doesn't change the Nigerian in us. Are you hearing me?
They gave us cars. And when they gave us cars, I refused it. Otherwise, I won't get a house in Bodija Estate.
What's the problem with the Southerner becoming the chairman of Nigeria?
I don't know. We have problems.
My brother, your guess is as good as mine. I've always been asking this question.
Are you saying that government is not doing well in regards to the policy?
No, they are doing very well.
There's no way we can look at women and children issues without even looking at discussing with the men.
Tackles only on OSBC. Hello there, you're welcome to Tackles today on OSBC television. My name is Deji Adefila. Like you know, on Tackles we look at issues, of course, sometimes trending matters as it regards the country, as it regards us as a people in Nigeria, and of course sometimes we go international when we have to do that. Okay, but on the program today, we're going to be looking at some issues that regards Nigeria. Of course, it's an election year and a whole lot of things are coming up, stemming up really good and fast as far as this is concerned in Nigeria today. It's February 16 is the presidential election and also the Senate and the Federal House of Representatives elections, and so many other things will be going on. And later we'll be having the one for the governors and the state houses of assembly as well. So my guest on the program today is a lecturer at, from one of the universities right here in the state, and is going to be looking at these issues with us. It's Dr. Emmanuel. Good day, it's nice to have you.
Good morning and happy new year.
Yeah. Well, let's get on with this thing, the way it is. Right now we are in an election year, yes, and a whole lot of things are happening, and seeing different developments as regards campaigns and rallies. All of them are going to be coming up right now, but before we go into what campaigns or whatever things are, I just want to ask you, for someone, you are in the political department, and that is what you actually look into oftentimes. In Nigeria today, people have been asking for issue-based campaigns, yes, and instead of the usual things that we have. But it doesn't seem that things are changing, as far as our campaigns are.
Well, absolutely, things are changing, but changing for the worse. Things are changing for the worse. There have been this issue consistently by some concerned citizens talking about issue-based campaign. Then more often than not, you might not even blame the politicians, because politicians are from among us in the kind of things they throw to us. Are the citizens themselves, even from the enlightened section of the citizens, ready for issue-based campaign? Because even in a lot of enlightened citizen network, you find people who should live above board transmitting, all kinds of things that would have been done by some kind of people of lower learning or people of lower understanding or lower beings, without sounding modest and all that. But you find people who are renowned professors, educated elite, administrators, working class, and what have you. You find them being the ones who are at the corridor of this trivial, modern, and all kinds of abnormal political engagements. So the citizens themselves are not even ready for issue-based campaign, because if you're talking about issue-based campaign, we wouldn't have been here. A lot of things we talk about would have been a done deal.
What would you think has become the real reasons when you find educated people and the elite, saying that, well, it doesn't matter what happens, let's just go?
Well, the real reason is quite a very far. It's going to be a very lengthy analysis if we go into that. On several occasions, I've tried to draw a line of demarcation between schooling and education. So over time, people have gotten schooled in abnormally. Nigeria is a country that, politically speaking, in terms of civic, Nigeria have actually thrown a lot of contributions in the negative, and we have sustained this trend for a very long time, from the military era and what have you done. People have come to buy into this abnormally, and we have continued to transit them in our education that people are even being wrongly schooled.
Okay, well, the putting it, in a very simple terms right now, we go out every day, you read on the papers, you read in social medias, policies and ideas and thoughts of some political candidates as far as the presidential, election is concerned. That seems to be the major one right now, that everyone is looking at, and if we are not looking at the policies and the ideas of the candidates, then what exactly are we going to just sit down and be doing? It does mean that things are going to continue the way it has always been if we are not looking at all of that. How do we get the people, the voters, putting them in an informed reasons, to doing what is right?
It's a very, very big concern. But for one, if we look at the ideas and the citizens are very critical about them, and then they challenge and task the politicians on these ideas. These ideas we form and inform what becomes of that government once it's instituted. Because everybody have gotten concerned about what the ideas are putting to the table, and we've weighed these ideas, we put them on a scale and then say, okay, we are choosing this person as our preferred candidate, and the person emerges. It's going to be that idea is actually going to be the basis of governance. But what we have actually seen is that we've actually found a way of banking on a lot of sentiments, diving into some religious issues, diving into ethnic issues. That's why you see somebody at the helm of leadership, a renowned professor thereabout. People say vote for this person, and then you will become. This session will become the president after 23. Those things are even trivial. What we even believe as a people, and we've internalized as a norm of relationship, it's even trivial. Who becomes our region producer wouldn't have actually been an issue if good governance was the main factor. Whether the person come from even it's a Niger, migrated from Niger or wherever, wouldn't have been an issue if good governance was the actually major thing. So the Nigerian electorate have gone so much into internalizing these abnormalities as a norm, and then over time it becomes even the major contending factor in campaigns rather than the major issue. It's quite a very, very big challenge. Was if in reality our campaigns were their base, our political engagements were their base, there are things we are saying. There are things that is becoming an issue that wouldn't have become an issue. The PDP destroyed Nigeria for 16 years, Atiku is corrupt. Those things are not issues. I was in this camp and I aligned with you. We put forces together and established a government. You turn back after some years and say, I'm not going to be in this family again. You turn back and say, I'm corrupt. For crying out loud, Nigerians who are enlightened shouldn't even be had.
So you actually feel that if there was good governance, those kind of issues wouldn't have been raised. If
good governance was the informing factor, if good governance was the informing factor, we wouldn't have been having this region is going to become president 2023. What have you? Those kind of trivial games.
It doesn't matter where he came from, or who the leader is, as long as the person is performing.
It wouldn't have been even a campaign issue.
Okay, well, there's something that is very crucial that I want you to look at, regarding all of this. Prior to 2015, there was crisis, security challenges in the country. To the extent that even the government had to shift the election a little bit, further. Right now, a certain set of quarters in the country have been looking at it. What is going on presently in Nigeria again? That if things go on the way it is right now, what we're experiencing in Borno State still, in Zamfara again, still going on, and there was even a bit of a little mayhem in Benue State not quite long ago. That if things continue this way, that we may have on our hands what we had also in 2015 prior to that particular election. What's your take on the insecurity, issues in the country at the moment?
Well, the insecurity issues is quite it's a very big challenge, and then there have been a lot of politicizing of security in the country, and coincidentally, we are also going into election year, and towards every election year, the Boko Haram quagmire becomes quite very, very visible, very loud, and what the way it was in 2015 and what have you. So actually, as a political scientist, I'm to quite a very large extent. I will claim that I'm confused. I'm not confused, with regards to not knowing what is actually happening. I'm confused how quiet the Nigerian citizens have, consumed lies and even sometimes come to believe their own lie. The security issue is one of the areas we are giving credit to the president. We are giving the president credit of having sorted the security issues and what have you. There's a word that Boko Haram have been defeated. When people raise issues, they say, after saying, before we could hear the last word, because Boko Haram have been defeated, we still have some bomb blasts. They now change it and that Boko Haram have been technically defeated. And every one of us, we are not raising criticism because of hatred for the governance, for things to become better and all that. So if Nigerians have had these words from government have informed them how much they are actually doing and what have you. I think it would have even gone a very long way in informing the outcome of this present election.
Is the government far from the people as regards what exactly is going on that they are doing? Do you think they are far from the people?
That's quite a very, very big challenge. It's quite a very, very big one. Whether the government is far from the people, you and I know that, I don't know, the government is even anti-people. The present government, that's my view, and I need to express it. It's not being far from the people. And what have you? We have government. There have been multiple issues, multiple killings. Fulani herdsmen marauding and taking control of towns. They did that in Enugu. We are governor for the first time. Governors even had to be shedding tears. Borno governor prostrated recently to the president and trying to inform him that, telling him that he's even being misinformed about the realities on ground and what have you and all that. Who actually needs to inform the government? The government is being headed by quite a very large machinery of people, from the councillor, local government chairman down to, it's quite a very large estate of personnel running the affairs of government. And these people, they, by virtue of how democracy works, these people are uprooted from among a very primary unit of constituency, ward, constituency unit, and then planted in whatever leadership position they take and whatever. So these people are constantly they are from the people. They are not aliens. They are not aliens and what have you. So they should be at home with the reality of what their people are suffering. But in quite a lot of occasions, you see this lack of empathy on the part of government, even by mere pretense of the pomp of governance, visitations, making inquiries, and all kinds of that. Then we constantly see a pre-made speech, that kind of a regurgitated speech of government being on top. The first year of President Mohamed Buhari, when I was having a lot of hopes, I had to ask my friend, did Jonathan abandon his speeches in Aso Rock that, at any bomb blast, you hear the same kind of thing you keep hearing and what have you. So government, asking whether government is very, very far from the people, the government is not even for the people, let alone being close to the people.
As a political scientist, a lot of things comes up when it's an election year. We have even seen it in developed nations, whereby some level of propaganda are being put up, against people, against each candidate here and there. And there is a particular one recently in Nigeria. That's the issue of the audio tapes released regarding the Director General of the Buhari campaign organization. That's Rotimi Amechi, the Minister of Transport. And when questions were raised on this particular one, the response from the Minister of Information was that the PDP are just doing all of those things, just to break their ranks. You understand? Should anyone, in real sense of it, believe such audio tapes when they come out like that?
Well, is there any tendency that whatever content of that audio tape might be a fact? If there is everything, psychologically there's this group thing and there's a lot of class bond, and we hide under ethics, bonding political parties to cover quite a lot of things, and we have invented sometimes anti-party and what have you. Jonathan was a little bit fortunate and unfortunate. Fortunate in the sense that PDP even had people from among their ranks who were constantly criticizing the government, except for Shehu Sani occasionally and what have you. I also gathered from reliably yesterday that while people are debating the authenticity of the audio tape, that that the state security apparatus on top of it, and they are doing some what is it called in terms of management, managing whatever will be the likely negative outcome of such debt. So the question would have been, is there quite a very high thing? You know, we could actually professionally working for this, we are bound to certain ethics. So we pretend, we come and all kinds of, and then, but in reality, and at our private moment, we might know the reality. For instance, now there's a figure that though the Buharis, as they have taken a self-acclaimed, that is actually being brandished now that if the federal, the revenue from federal government got as high as 5-point-something trillion. They are celebrating that it got as high as 5-point-something trillion. And then there's always a lot of internal, the prices of governance contradictions. You've made 5-point-something trillion from internally generated revenue and all what, then we are having a budget, I think 8-point-something trillion. It has been nearly taken care of. But yet we are going to talk about borrowing. Any country that the president visits, you're going to talk about borrowing. You go to China, you talk about borrowing. You're going to Nigeria. So where is the simple economics? We might not be sophisticated in economic terms or whatever, but the simple understanding that somebody will say you have all the clothes you need to wear from Monday to Friday. Why come on Tuesday? You're already looking for clothes, knocking at your neighbor's door for clothes. It defies the tenets of simple economics. And what so we need to ask ourselves question that are people not complaining? Are we not having people being killed on a regular basis? Are people not hungry? There have been a very high rising rate of inflation, but surprisingly these figures have always been tackled by the government figures. Inflation have actually recession, we're out of recession and what have you. But since 2015 or before then, we've been earning the same thing. But have rice been the same price?
No, at all.
No particular commodity have actually been the same price. Invariably, I'm earning 50% less than what I was earning in 2015 by the dollar rate. So even if you have been earning 250 or 270 or thereabout, and it has been the same thing, and then you need to buy rice 8,000 or thereabout. If rice is now 16,000, 17 or thereabout, you're earning 50% less. And then you're confronted by the same needs and increasing needs and what, and then there are also new needs that is even emerging, all kinds of new transactions that is emerging for government to actually raise revenue. You've not gotten anything additional. Things have actually gone up, and even within the items of your need have actually expanded too. So in reality, a person facing such condition, I think it's actually better for you.
On the tripod at which the APC government stands, and which they have really been looking into since they came to government, talking about fighting corruption, tackling the insecurity challenges, and also fixing the economy. How would you think that this government has
let me just be the first on fighting corruption. I was filled in as much as whether you support the president or you didn't support the other, but everyone wants good governance. If you criticize the particular government, it's good governance that is the primary reason driving you to know what good governance is. It can even be felt by the blind. When the government came with anybody who's not worried about corruption in this country, it's not being frank. But there are 3 ways to fight corruption. First, the author who claims he or she is going to fight corruption must first make sure you're not corrupt. You are not corrupt. That's what the first thing you need to do. Second, you have to make sure that within your cabinet, but first making sure you're not corrupt includes your family and whatever extended that there should be level of prudence and example. You should embody, you should be an ambassador of whatever you claim. Then the second is to make sure that with how you select your team, that you don't have bad eggs. You don't have bad eggs. You don't have people who will be liability because of their corruption baggages and what have you. You have to make sure that within your team you don't have people who are corrupt, and then third, you go into driving policies that actually make sure that you block it and what have you. If I'm going to add additional, then blockage should be part of their fight, whether you are getting those who are actually there. But what we see is quite going after people who have looted money politically selectively, and all that. That's why, because there have been a lot of issues within the present government or there. But there have been, there was people who raised consistently about the Chibika marriage and some other people who were within the present cabinet and all that. He entered into a project where he would say he was swindled over 17 billion. For crying out loud, those things are not tenable excuses. There is virtually anybody within the cabinet that people didn't quite raise issues. When the president emerged, took quite a lot of time before he could assemble the ministers. It was expected that he was doing some homework that would have had the best. and other. The first list was thrown up, and we saw names like Falana. I don't know whether it was a real list or some people banned. We saw names like Pat Otomi and other. I was so happy. People like us were so happy that for the first time we are going to have something quite different. And this man is going to, it's not going to be business as usual. But at the point of the official release of the list, we now saw names. The old politicians we've known for. These politicians have even a lot of corruption liabilities and what have you. That is whatever what they brandish, will say, have you proven that these guys are corrupt? But the people who are being arrested in PDP have not actually been proven too. It's just allegations too. And what we find is where a sitting governor's account is being frozen. Then where a chairman of the political party, Adams Oshimole, is being, there are a lot of corruption allegations and what have you. And then even the EFCC will even on their own go against it and give reasons why they can't even arrest him. We saw the examples of Ganduje. These ones are even later examples of Kano State governor and what have you. Even people have to even go to court. The governor have to go to court to stop the further release of those videos. These are even later examples. From quite the time government was have been inaugurated, there have been people have raised quite a lot of issues, from the grass cutter, Babachia, to all kinds of what have you. There have been a lot of within the immediate cabinet of the president and what have you. And then the president seemed to do nothing, say nothing about it.
The president was asked recently on the issue of talking about the coordinator of the security apparatus in the country, the security chiefs, and he said one has to be very careful for you to change security chiefs because of his experience as a military man. I don't know what you feel. Now, a lot of Nigerians have been clamoring over the years. Come on, change these guys. Get some other people there. But he said he has to be very, very careful, and it's almost running to the end of his four-year term.
Well, let's give it to him that he have a superior experience with regards to how security is being organized and whatnot. In countries like Nigeria falls within what we call in political science a badly divided society. Subscription or ascription, loyalty to some divisive lines is more pronounced than saying there's no Nigerian. I was actually discussing with somebody what happened in China. Some development, China wanted to take over some fields and what have you, and then people were planted, removed from their original homes, given a new home 8 hours away from their home. I've seen Oyo town. I've gone to Oyo town, and what the amount of land there, they might need to uproot people from Onitsha and Aba. Will that actually happen? There is no Nigerian, no single person. We just have Igbo, Yoruba. Even within Yoruba, you see how you start talking about your specific clans and what have you. So I know that the president is actually being politically careful within the ambit of reality. I will actually excuse him for that or thereabout. Being a divided society and being a polity where there's a lack of internal coherence, anything can happen. I think there was a few days ago now in one of the country, Bongo, who have Gabon, the man who have been in the Home of Affairs for 40 years. So
that is his family, 50 years.
Yes, the family have been there in power for years and what have you. So I think the president is actually trying to protect his own political dynasty. But what I don't know is it for the general good of the country or for the protection of his own personal and elite interests?
Okay, well, it's been an interesting one, talking to you and so many other issues, regarding this particular one. Well, and I want to believe that, people are probably going to be getting informed on the decisions that we take as a people. But there is need for this country to actually move forward. There is need for us to become better people, in that regard. And maybe sometimes, being a political scientist, I'm still going to have to take you up on that particular topic. Is there a Nigerian? When we look at issues as they were. Well, I've been speaking with Dr. Emmanuel Ogbonna on the program today, and he has been able to look at so many issues with us right on Tackle. So I must say thank you so very much for coming on the show today. Well, and until next time when we shall come your way again on the program. My name is Deji Adefila. Have a good day.